into the online broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Marielou Mandl, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Your hair's on fire.
It is on fire.
Your hair's on fire.
Hair's on fire! Yeah!
Not really, it's just red if you can't see it.
Just red.
If you're listening, her hair's not on fire.
We are here for the Hell's Kitchen after show, and this happens to be, ladies and gentlemen, the finale.
It's over!
Man, so we are extremely excited. We had 2 hours to fill. We also have a special guest calling in shortly, so we need to jump right into this. First of all, I'm very excited. I'm not going to say who the winner is yet, but I'm very excited of the winner. It's somebody I think we all predicted to win, so we're good at this game. But yeah, let's start off with the first half of this season finale.
Before we dive in too quick, I would like to bring out our finale treats.
Oh, yes.
Finale
so we can snack
yeah.
and enjoy and celebrate the finale
Please
together.
pass that over, because I'm starving.
So
And
I'll get this ready while you,
you do that.
start
Okay,
diving
cool.
in.
So let's start off, and this is now down to 4 people. So it's really, oh man, that looks good. It's really down to the wire. I'm going to stop talking so I can eat.
Oh my gosh, it smells so good. What is this that you brought for us?
what did you bring?
So I brought, we had our company holiday party today, and I brought some of the leftover tarts.
Okay.
And what are those things called?
Macaroons.
Macaroons. Tarts and macaroons. And
Tarts,
the
like,
smell
wow. And
is just like
lemon.
taking over.
They are beautiful.
I mean, yeah, it's amazing. Okay, so I'm gonna get a little distracted, but I'm gonna get on that in a second when you guys start talking. So it starts off, like I said, it's 4 people. It is the. Did you just take a picture of it?
I did. I'm going to post it so people see, because they can't see, because we're audio and the cameras are not pointing in a close up on our treats.
All right, so it's 4 people. It's the Black Jackets, and we start off with Jennifer getting emotional about her family, and everyone is kind of just at that point where they can taste it. You know, they know that it's down to the wire. It's almost there. It's within reach. You know, obviously they're all good at this point, and I think their emotions are, you know, running high. And of course they play on that because they bring them in, and everyone kind of gets to see members of the family on this big screen, which they're, you know, getting emotional or what have you.
I got emotional.
Yeah,
I did too.
You did?
You also, yeah. Well, I also didn't know that Jennifer had a husband.
And
so
2
that made
children.
you emotional.
Right? Yeah, I was like, that made you emotional. Were you sad?
No,
because you wanted to holler at
No.
Jennifer?
I
going
figured
on?
she might have
Fancy other women?
Yeah. I figured she might have a wife. I didn't know she had a husband.
Okay.
That's not what made me emotional.
Okay.
Watching them Skype or video chat live with their families, and then the surprise of the families actually being there.
Yes.
Yeah, I was a little suspicious because the backgrounds in those videos looked really fake, and I was like,
We also weren't interacting back, so I was like, that's not.
Yeah, that looked really bad. So I mean,
well,
you know,
they were quick about it though. They were quick about it, and then they showed up.
They were quick.
But yeah, I teared up a little bit because I've been away from my family, and then they show up, and it's overwhelming. It's
Reunions
exciting.
are always overwhelming.
Absolutely, absolutely. No, I thought it was great. That was they always try to put a little twist on things, so I thought that was kind of cool, showing the video and then them having them here. And so of course, playing on that theme, the winner of this particular challenge that was coming up got to spend the whole day with their family. So of course, they just rode on that whole emotional, you know, wave, which again, everybody was ready. And this challenge was Taste It Now, Make It, which they've done pretty much every season. And so they basically had to take a dish that Chef Ramsay made, and they have to taste it, kind of figure out what the ingredients were, and basically replicate that in, I think, 45 minutes. Very challenging. You got to know, you have to have a good palate to try to decipher, because it's not like they give you the, ingredients and you just have to make it. You got to figure out what the ingredients are. So they do that, they bring it up, and they each kind of pick different things. Two people pick rabbit, one person, Bryant, picked turkey, and then Latasha picked pheasant. I think everybody was kind of like, turkey, Bryant, come on.
He even knew he was wrong.
Yeah, so there was no surprise there. Can you turn me up on mine? So when it came down, he kind of went up. Thank you, that's good. He went up and Chef Ramsay says, okay, we're going to start with the protein. And the protein happened to be rabbit. So that knocked out 2 people automatically. They all picked couscous, so there wasn't an issue there. So basically, it came down to whether it was gonna be cherries or sun-dried tomatoes, which I would think that would be kind of easy to decipher. Again, I'm not a chef, but I would think that would be something easy to decipher, but obviously not.
It's interesting because 2 of them picked dried cherries and 2 of them picked sun-dried tomatoes. So.
Right. So I guess maybe it is very similar when you're looking at it. You know,
I'm sure you're going off color. You see like a dark reddish.
Sure. Absolutely. So that meant that the person that got the most right was Jennifer. So Jennifer got to spend the day with her husband and her 2 children, which were adorable. I thought that was, and she seemed, I think it was good for her because to me, she seemed the most emotional and the most missing of her family. I mean, Bryant too as well, you know, his wife and young child were there, but I think she was very like, I gotta see my family.
Yeah, she needed it.
She needed it bad. She needed it bad. It was also culminating the 200th dinner service, which was big. And the losers had to, you know, kind of set up the dining room. So not a big deal. For dinner service, this is the time that they each got to take turn at the pass. So this is basically doing what Chef Ramsay does every time during dinner service, picking, you know, making sure everything is right, the right ingredients are there, making sure it's cooked properly, all that kind of stuff.
With some sabotages along the way.
Exactly. We'll get into that. Sade goes first, which I thought Sade would kill it because she's kind of been in this role even just as on the line. She's kind of taken charge and called out things. So I thought she was going to do good. Her test was spotting out clams instead of mussels. Nailed it like right away. Like before it was even up there, she's like, take that back. That's not mussels, that's clams. She was very aggressive as, you know, thought would be. Latasha was up. I was kind of a little disappointed in Tasha. I thought she was going to be more assertive. She wasn't bad, but I thought she was going to be more assertive. She actually fails her test. It was sea bass instead of halibut, and she didn't catch that. So, and then she does send back some mushrooms that kind of came up. So maybe some redemption there. Jennifer goes up. Jennifer's getting no love from anybody. Like nobody's responding. Like nobody. So she's thinking they're sabotaging her, what have you. It's actually her test is the Wellingtons. They go up with no, duck seal. And she fails on that. So Bryant's turn. He's way too eager. Yeah. I thought this was funny. He was like, "Oh, that's not the right spoon." Like he was just, he was like way too turned up. And so he thought he could sabotage with halibut. He's like, "Oh, that's not it." And Chef Ramsay's like, "No, it's the right thing. No, listen to me. It's the right thing. Calm down, chill out." The real test is actually cauliflower versus celery root puree, and he does get that right because again, he's way
like everything's wrong. So
everything's wrong. So he's gonna get it right. And then they have to deliberate on who should stay, which I thought was kind of like, come on now. Like, what are you going to say? Like, I deserve to go home? Or,
yeah,
you know,
right.
Like
it's so small now.
It's so small. So I think that was just a kind of time to get some, you know, reactions from them. I do like the fact that Latasha basically, you know, said, I haven't gone up at all.
Yeah.
I have not gone up. So there.
Yeah.
There you go. Take that. So he calls the people up and then he's going to eliminate 2 people. He eliminates 1 person right away, which is Jennifer. I didn't think there was much of a surprise there.
No, not at all.
I wasn't surprised.
I was ready for her to go home. I think she's been okay as a chef, but I mean, no one respects her. No one was listening to her when she was in the kitchen. She wasn't that great. She's kind of annoying, so I don't think anyone. She's not really a good, like, face of a brand for Gordon Ramsay. So I wasn't shocked at all. And then obviously after. Sade got sent home, but he said that she should expect a call from someone from his office.
Still offering her a job.
Amazing. And so deserved.
I turn around and you've got like frosting all over your fingers.
I try to be...
These gentlemen cannot handle their pastries.
Dude,
I dropped it all over me.
Dude, it's like we needed like napkins or something. It was
good
really
job,
good. It was
guys.
like a lemon tart. That was bomb. That was super bomb.
But I wasn't shocked Sade didn't get into the final 2.
You weren't shocked?
I was not shocked. I expected it to be Bryant and
I think
Tasha.
you called that. Yeah.
And you did too.
Yeah.
I was the only different one. I thought she was going to make it in, personally.
But I feel like I hate to like put age into it, but she's only 25, and I feel like it would be hard to have a 25-year-old head chef.
And I think that was his thing too. I think even he said it, like it was her experience. Like she just
he called her the most improved young chef.
Right. So I think it was just a lack of experience and age, which would translate into experience
and respect
as far as doing that. Yeah,
for
exactly.
Others.
So, but it was good that he kind of, said, I'll have my people, call you and see where we can work out some type of position.
And he said that that's never happened before.
Well, I don't think it's never happened like that. Like he's offered like I remember there was one contestant in particular. He offered training. He said, "I'm a pay you to go to culinary school." So this is the first time I think he did a gesture where it was like, "I'm gonna have my people
call your people."
Right, exactly. Right. But he's extended people that did really well that just weren't ready. So it's bound to Bryant and Sade. That's the finale. Yeah, that's what's going to be the finale. So,
and I was excited to see them together.
Yeah.
And when they had the two of them after they both found out that they're the final two, that they were actually, I know you seem like they like each other, and can compete in a positive way.
Yeah.
And they were neck and neck. I totally was on board for the rest of that.
Well, Brian, I think overall he kind of had, he had some highs and lows, but I think he did have some personality conflicts with a lot of the individuals, whereas you didn't really see that with Latasha. Latasha seemed like she got along with everyone. People respected her. She did well. You can't, like I said, she was never put up. She did well. I think Bryant was sometimes a little bit of a loose cannon. He got into it, with Sterling. He got into it with
Santos.
He got into a few people.
Fernando,
that big blow up that one time where they was just like, he's got into it with everybody. So I think that's the difference between the two, which is interesting because he's the older of the two. You would think he'd be more mature, but not at all. So it starts part 2. They start planning their menus, and how it works with the finale. They will always basically get together, and it's the same formula every single season. They plan a menu, and then at some point in time, they're going to pick who's going to be their brigade, so to speak. So it's different how they do it, and this was an interesting way that they did it this particular time. They both also, again, are getting emotional because it's that time. It's like, now it's top 2. It's top 2 is like right there. It's either going to be, it's a 50-50 chance that you have to be head chef, which an amazing prize. They get to fly to Palm Springs, get pampered, relax, kind of chill out before it gets like really crazy. Once they get back, this is an interesting turn.
And I love this.
Yeah. Why don't you explain what happened?
Well, they get off of the plane, and then their concierge or whoever there is like, the car's not here yet. Let's go into this waiting room. And as they're in the waiting room, the lady comes back in. She's like,
Lem just grabbed
everything,
the frosting that had fallen off of a lemon tart.
Take this blueberry too. Here you go.
Put it back on the lemon tart.
It is a mess.
So while Marielou continues, I just want all listeners to know what's going on.
That's why he was like, Marielou, you talk about it.
I'm going to dive into a chocolate.
I'm going to eat. Yes. So then the walls fall away, and I love a good reveal like that because there's everybody there, and then they find out that they have to cook in front of everyone.
I don't like it at all.
No, that one's not for you.
That one was good.
Okay. Can you tell us what's in that one?
Chocolate and chocolate and chocolate.
No.
Oh, it's like chocolate on top of it.
Yeah, but like not good chocolate. Sterling could have made a better one.
Wow.
I only say that because I'm expecting his quality.
Exactly. I thought my thing is when they do something like this, it's interesting because there's a lot of people in there. They have to be like absolutely.
Am I the only one that like knew something was up?
Of course, there's something up there. Well, like they plan it. There's no the car's not ready. Like
as soon as they said the car's not ready, you knew something was going to happen.
But what's it going to be?
What's going to happen is different. But yeah, once you said the car's not ready, but the way the walls fell, like that was dope because I didn't expect. Cool. Usually it's like a curtain or it's like a something easy, but like the walls literally fell and like everybody's like right there.
And like these people had to stay completely quiet. And Lem and I went to one of the tapings for a season finale, and we didn't have to be quiet, but there's definitely a lot of people and a lot of stuff happening.
Yeah, a lot of people talking, a lot of camera. Crew, everything. So it's like it really. Now, granted, the space that they were in was very small, so it's not like there was just the one lady that was helping them. But it was just interesting that it was literally like the walls dropped and it was a gang of people. So, but they were extremely surprised.
They
which
did
was
something
dope.
similar in the opening in the first episode.
Yes, that's where a movie fell. They were in a movie theater. a movie curtain fell, and then it was like a huge audience that was right there. So
now,
it was very similar.
Now, tell me, typically in previous seasons, when you get to the top 2, they go for their little reward, and they come back. Do they immediately go into their challenge, or do they usually get a chance to go home? Because for me, I was like, that's kind of jarring. Like, you just got off of a plane, and then the walls fall down, and they're like, cook.
Yeah, no, they've done that before.
Okay.
I mean, they do that purposely because they want it to be jarring. You figure, you think you're safe, and then all of a sudden, oh, I have to cook. So it's not, like I said, it's different ways that they do it. But yes, they've definitely done it where it's very unexpected, because the thing is they want to kind of keep you off your game, I would think, because they want to see, again, who can do it under pressure. If you think you're not cooking right now, you're not on your game, who's going to, stand out?
Totally.
Who's going to be able to hold it down? So, yeah, absolutely. So they go ahead and they start cooking. They have to come up with cold appetizer, hot appetizer, fish entree, chicken entree, and beef entree. And the reason why this is important, because the winner of this particular one gets to have the first pick of their brigade. So they had all the returning chefs come. They get to see them.
Which, go for it.
I just realized it wasn't everyone. There were missing ones.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Aaron wasn't there.
Oh, yeah. They don't bring every single chef back. They bring back ones. And typically, it's not always the best chefs. You got to think, like, they want some level of, not sabotage, but, they know they want chefs that aren't really that good.
Probably the biggest characters.
Exactly. Because they want them to still struggle. If you had everybody that was good, it would be hard to try to figure out who can handle the pressure.
Right.
If you got somebody that's a weak chef, like Frank,
right?
Example.
As soon as they were like, the first pick gets, or the winner gets to pick first, I was like, so that means the person that picks second automatically gets Frank.
Right,
like,
exactly.
It means,
basically.
If you lose this, you get Frank.
You get Frank.
Sorry, bro.
You get Frank. So, yeah, and that's why they do that. They want some level of that happening. So, Latasha ended up winning the challenge, which was dope. So she got first pick. So her brigade ended up being Sade, Ro, Fernando, and Ashley. And then Bryant ended up getting Jennifer, Sterling, Santos, and Frank. So
if you guys had your pick, who would you guys go for?
I like Tasha's team.
You think?
Latasha's team.
Her whole team,
all about it.
Yeah, no, I thought her whole team was good. I mean, Ashley and Frank were definitely the bottom. I knew they were going to get last pick.
Me too.
So to me, it was like the lesser of the two evils. But it was interesting because in service, Ashley kind of held it down. She held it down, and Frank just crumbled under the pressure. I don't know what was going on, but yeah, it was all bad. It was all bad. And it was interesting going back because now they have to kind of, their menu that they took, hours to put together, then they have to translate it to the brigade. So they have to let them know, basically, what's going on. Latasha actually, she kind of wasn't having it. She was like, this is it. They were kind of giving instructions. She was like, no, this is how it's going to be done. Oh, do you want? Nope. Well, help? Nope. Like, she was just shutting everybody down because she wanted what she wanted. Whereas Bryant seemed like he was a little bit more open to suggestions. And I think his theory of it was basically, if I let them, have some say in things, they'll cook better for me. That's how I took it.
Yeah.
What do you think?
In this scenario, I'm more about Latasha's approach, where you got to kind of make a decision because it's about you and it's about a job and it's about how you're going to handle that situation, because you might not always have people that you can trust their feedback on.
Right.
So in this scenario, this is my plan. This is what we're going to go with. Thank you so much.
I see.
Someone has to be the captain.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I personally would have probably taken, just knowing my personality, how I think, I would have taken Bryant's approach. But like to a small degree, like I would have had like what I want, and then maybe like let them like maybe one dish, like, okay, what do you guys think about, and then that way they have some say, but then I have complete say. That way they're happy, but at least I know my menu is what I want it to be. So,
well, it's scary because if, like, let's say they're like, you need to add pine nuts to this, and you're like, okay, and then Gordon Ramsay's like, why'd you add pine nuts to this? What's better to be like, because Frank said so, or because that's or it's like because that's what I want, chef. I think pine nuts make this taste good. Like, to blame others, it's like it's your menu. So if you let someone else mess it up for you,
well, I mean, and I don't think it's messing up. I think if it was me and the suggestion made sense, like it enhanced what I already had, because I didn't think of that, then yeah, absolutely. Now if it was going to be something that was going to be detrimental or disgusting, like, no, we're not going to do that.
And that's where hear the suggestions, and I think that Latasha heard the suggestions. She just didn't like any of them.
Right.
You know, but the music that they played behind both of the scenarios.
Yeah. I mean, you don't know if like it was just but it sounded like she just was not having it. Like they were saying it, and she was like, absolutely not.
The power of editing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the power of editing. Speaking of Latasha, Chef Ramsay actually kind of ripped into her food, which was interesting because, again, to me, I thought Latasha was the stronger person, so I thought she was going to be good to go. She was the one that, again, made sure everybody did what she wanted. And he was like, no, this is wrong. You need to do better with this one.
He said there's too much white on your plate.
Yeah, I saw that too. I'm like, what does that mean? Like, does it need to be more cooked or something?
Or does it have to be more colorful?
I don't know.
Is there too much plate showing?
I didn't really understand. Maybe it's a chef thing. I don't know. But I guess if it's too much white, it's not a good thing.
We want diversity in our dishes.
Yeah. If you become a chef, multicultural. So don't have
it's affirmative action food here.
Right. Do not have too much white in your dish. That's all. Leave it at that.
Got some good amount of colors in our box.
Yeah. Speaking of that, that tart goes hard. I've had 2 of them.
2.
It goes super hard. You said
it's
this
still
was
on
disgusting?
your finger.
Well, I just didn't like it.
I know. It's okay. I'm gonna try it.
Yeah, try it.
Did you want the other half of his?
No.
Just get a new one.
So dinner service. Bryant. Well, talk about dinner service.
Jeff, tell us about dinner service.
So Bryant, his team is Frank is just being Frank.
Right.
Is just messing up and just not doing a good job at all and really screwing it up for everyone. So eventually Bryant, he has Sterling take over for him in the position that he was in, and then eventually Frank couldn't even do, messed up 2 positions, and he eventually just had to kick him out of the kitchen, which was really smart, but also showed good leadership. To allow, you can't really be Mr. Nice Guy if someone's messing up your kitchen. So I like that he did it, but even more that Gordon Ramsay was even like, that was the smartest move you could have made. Like, to appreciate that and to realize that.
And I loved seeing Sterling step up and like, oh, I got it. No, I got you back. I got you back. Like, he was there for the team.
Sterling smashed. Sterling, I was so proud of him because, of course, he got a bad rap. Because of his personality. People didn't think that he was good or could cook well. They just thought like, oh, this guy
just didn't take him seriously.
Yeah, exactly. And he literally he came behind him and took care of business. He got Bryant out of the weeds. He saved his butt big time. And I thought it was dope that, he took over apps, killed that. When he kicks Frank out, Sterling takes over his station, kills that, just smashed.
And after all the drama that Bryant and Sterling had. I mean, Sterling even said when he was picked, he's like, I did not see that coming. He just did not expect to be picked on his team. Which when he he was like, what? Oh, it's 100. All right, let's go. I'm gonna take it.
So Lem, did you like this chocolate on chocolate? Because it's gone completely.
It is gone. It was good. It wasn't as good as the tart. The tart is the winner. As you can see,
the tart is Latasha. Latasha's favorite. Latasha's favorite. She told me last week. She told me the lemon tart when I wasn't here last week.
Right. The Twitter got it. Got it. The chocolate on chocolate was cool. It was cool. It was very rich.
See, I couldn't call Latasha the chocolate one because that would be racist or something. So I was making.
Well, you just made it awkward.
Is there too much white on your plate, Jeff?
There's too much chocolate.
Okay, Jeff. Getting back to Hell's Kitchen.
Maybe there's something in these tarts.
Maybe. So Sterling, like I said,
we got finale fever, guys.
Right, we're just going nuts. So Sterling basically saved Bryant.
Oh my God.
Dinner service is over, and basically it's now time to choose the winner. So again, in true Hell's Kitchen fashion, it's always the same. He goes and he's like, I have to deliberate. He says he has these cards. I need to check. It's really close. He always says the same
I
thing.
loved how Latasha ran her kitchen.
Yeah.
She was the captain of the ship.
She definitely held it down. I think it was good that, again, like I said, she is a leader. She is definitely a natural leader. When we talked to her on the phone last week, I mean, you could tell how, in her restaurant that she works at currently, how she's respected, how she even got promoted once she got back from the taping. And she's just a leader. And you could tell she takes pride in this is what she's meant to do. This is exactly what she's meant to do. And so I thought it was dope, like how she did that. I think it just resonated with how she was. She was no nonsense. She was about business. And not that she's, I think she seems like a very nice person, but she just means business in the kitchen.
Yeah, and seeing somebody in that scenario, it's like seeing an artist at the canvas. Like that person belongs there.
Right.
Sometimes people just don't, like they're just doing a job, but she belongs there and she's rocking it.
And see, that's how I kind of feel about Bryant. Like, I think Bryant, obviously, he is also good, but I think on a leader standpoint, I think it's more difficult for him to lead. I think he can probably cook really well, and he would make a great chef, or what have you. But I know that he's looking for a leader because you're leading, you're the head chef at a restaurant. Head chef has to be a leader. And I just can't see him, with those qualities. And even, I still thought he handled himself well. And even like with kicking Frank out, that was a move that he had to make because, again, Frank was messing up. And he's like, dude, like, you can't ruin this for me. And it wasn't mean about it. He's like, dude, you just got to go.
Yeah, thank you. Have a great night.
Yeah,
I was about to say that you can't have that big of a temper and run a kitchen, but then I realized that this entire show is based off of Gordon Ramsay
in the kitchen.
So I don't even know anymore.
But that's the thing. Everyone knows Gordon Ramsay means business. So again, when you're in that scenario, it's also somewhat because this is your colleague. So when your colleague is the one that's kind of running things, it's a different situation than, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When Gordon Ramsay's doing it, because you expect that. He's the face of the show. He's the head chef. He's the man with the Michelin stars. All of
15 Michelin stars.
15.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, when he was like introducing everybody else, he's like, this person with the 1 Michelin star chef.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, and then this is a 15-star Michelin chef.
From last week.
Myself.
Yes,
exactly.
exactly.
Was that last week's?
Yeah, last week's.
My bad.
Episode. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
15 stars.
15 stars.
Jeff had a binge watch.
Yeah,
Hell's
I
Kitchen.
realized I had two 2-hour episodes.
4 hours of Hell's Kitchen.
Wow. 4 hours of hell last night.
That's a lot.
Hell's Kitchen.
That's a lot. Okay, so he's deliberating. He's trying to figure out who he wants. Of course, they're tucked away, and they're just, trying to, they did their best. He calls them into his office, which is at the top of Hell's Kitchen. They go there. He says he makes a decision. Like I said, every week it's the same thing. He goes up to the door.
It's the door thing every time.
Every time it's always the door thing.
Have you noticed a trend if it's always the same door?
No, it's always
There's like
different.
one jam is one's just locked all the time.
No, it's always different. It's not always the same door. But I'm thinking, and every time I watch this, because I watched the 13th season now, if it was me, I would think like I would try it out.
Yeah,
like,
right? You're sitting there, you're like just
like I would just, because it's so tempting. Like, and I'm sure like maybe they do and they don't show that, but I'm sitting there with my hand on the handle and I'm just like, what if I
could see the AD who was like, do not jiggle the the doorknob. Don't do it.
It would just be difficult for me to not, you know what I'm saying? To not like try it out like a little bit. I'm just saying because it's so tempting, and it's there. Like this is your fate. You know what I'm saying? So, but they hold the door, and then of course, the one that opens is Latasha.
Yay!
Latasha.
She ends up winning the entire Hell's Kitchen, which again, as we stated, we predicted. And it's interesting too because I was thinking once I saw that she won, I was like, we interviewed her. She knew she was the winner. She couldn't say anything. Like,
well, when we were like, we're rooting for you to win, she's like, I'm trying, guys. I was like, she got it. She totally got it.
That's great. I mean, but that's the magic of television. Like when they do these type of shows and they record, these shows anytime there's some kind of winner, like you have Survivor, a lot of these reality shows where there's a winner at the end. But then of course the show doesn't air for, it could be with Hell's Kitchen. Sometimes this is late as a year and a half. So literally like you have to sit on that for a year. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Like I have a big mouth. Like
now I'm curious. Do you go right into the job right away, or do you go into the job after the finale airs?
Well, I know because we've talked to people way before, like at the start of the show, and they're working their job. So what I'm thinking is that what happens is after the show tapes, they have that hush clause or whatever they have to sign. They can't say anything, and they go about their daily life, and they just can't say anything. And then, like, because they'll watch the show just like we're watching the show. And I remember we've had in last season, because we've actually had guests that were able to come in because they were in the LA area. They actually were talking about how you know, when they were watching it, it was like, oh my gosh, it's coming back. But it was like so long ago because it was like over a year ago, you know, that this actually happened. So they're literally reliving it.
But specifically with Latasha as the head chef in his restaurant, has she been there or does she not start until like now?
Oh, you're talking about the new position
job.
that they
Oh, the position that they won.
Okay, so again, going back to that, I think that after it airs, then they probably start at some point, because you can't start it when, because then that gives it all away.
Right.
So I think they go back to whatever they used to do, their normal life, and then when the show airs, at some point in time, they have to start the position.
And now, has every winner been at a different restaurant, or is it always the same?
It's always been a different restaurant.
Okay.
Right. There's a new restaurant for everyone, which is why you rack up your Michelin stars.
Right. It's usually one that he's done. Like it's his, like this particular one is his restaurant. And then I think also sometimes, because I don't think sometimes these restaurants are even fully built yet. I think that this is their opportunity. Okay, we're building this. You're going to be the head chef once this is made. Sometimes it's been restaurants that are just, you know, really nice restaurants. I remember one it wasn't his, but it was like in Canada, Vancouver. So it was a really nice restaurant there that they were going to be the head chef on. So I think it just depends on, you know, but it makes sense if it's his restaurant because this is his show. Right. He's the brand. It makes total sense. This person now
get a whole season of commercial.
You know what I'm saying? You know, it works out. So, yeah, that's it. We were supposed to have, I don't know what happened, Mr. 100.
Mr. 100.
Where is he at? He was supposed to call in. I know that we used a different studio last week, but I did give this number to the person, the representative that was supposed to have him call. So I don't know if it got switched out. I'm not sure, but I was really looking forward to talking to Sterling.
Eat some more pastries.
I can't eat. I had 3.
You got no more?
I had 3.
I'm gonna post a before and after picture, and also a picture of Lem with the frosting on his fingers.
Fingers are nasty.
It's really amazing.
Oh, I don't know. This is horrible. Oh my god.
What have you done, Jeff? What have you done?
It was good. It was really good. It was really good. It was really good. So, thoughts now. We've seen the whole season. You two, this is your first season of Hell's Kitchen. Marielou, we'll start with you. What are your thoughts overall of the show?
I wish that the restaurant that Latasha is going to be head chef of was here, so we could go to it, because I think that would be really great. And there's all the little places that they went to on their prize challenge prizes. Like I want to go to all those places too. I don't know. There's a lot of new stuff in LA that I didn't know existed.
Right. Okay.
I think it was an interesting season. I liked Tasha from a while ago. I was annoyed by a lot of the people, and I know that's a casting thing, but there's so many of them that I just didn't really ever like. So I'm interested to see. I'll start watching, and I'm interested to see if that was just a this season thing, or how it goes from here on out, because most reality shows that I watch, I at least like a good amount of them, and I'm interested in their lives after the show. Like, I'm stoked for Tasha. I'm stoked for Sade. I'm interested to see what happens to Sterling. But, like, everyone else, like, sometimes I either like someone or I'm like, whatever. But there's a lot of people I just genuinely dislike from this.
On the show.
Yeah. That I'm kind of like, I don't ever want to know what happens to you.
You don't want to
I do want this Sterling spin-off show to happen. I need that to happen. Like, producers, please. Like
that, dude. That I just want, like, I want him, like, I would literally travel to wherever he lives and go to his restaurant. Like, I just feel like his restaurant would be so full of love, of course.
It's so fun.
And a fun restaurant. And I'm sure that, he obviously can cook. So it'd be good food. It'd be good, probably Southern home style. I could just see that being comfort food. Like, that would be his niche, which I love very much so. So, yeah, I really would want to see him do well. I would really want to see him do well. And it is interesting to see because, I mean, they do cast a lot of characters,
right?
Because that's
they have to be loud.
They have to be because you don't want a boring show. And I think part of the show is the drama. Like, they serve food, but it's very again, we're talking about a show that has a specific formula. A lot of the stuff that they cook is very much the same. They're always going to cook scallops. They're always going to cook beef Wellington. They're always going to, you know what I'm saying? They're always going to have risotto. These are things that's always, so it's not really about the food at that point, but it's about the drama that happens. It's Hell's Kitchen. So it's not Heaven's Kitchen or Purgatory Kitchen. It's Hell's Kitchen.
all the way there.
And if you're listening to this and you plan on being in Hell's Kitchen in the future, learn how to cook scallops.
And risotto.
It's giving you the obvious clue.
Right.
40 seconds.
Yeah.
As Ro
Oh, yeah, that's
decided.
right. The
I know
flip.
how to cook scallops.
Right.
So if
Well,
you're a
we should
chef and you're going to be on the
try.
show, I don't,
Exactly.
I don't even know where to begin.
Yeah.
But don't salt them beforehand.
All of that.
And 40 seconds.
40 seconds. There it is.
So next season, no more tricks.
Next season. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of our show. We want to thank you for tuning in. The finale, amazing. I'm so glad when the winner is the person that I picked. Just saying. I've been your host, Lem Gonsalves. You can find me on social media at The Poet Saint, and that's on Twitter and Instagram. Marielou, where can they find you?
You can find me on all social media at Marielou Mandl, MarielouMandl.
There it is. And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Jeff_Thurm, THURM. It's been a great season.
Yeah, thanks for listening
Thanks,
all season
everybody.
and watching all
Yeah.
season.
And there's going to be another season because they're like taping a bunch of them right now. They're probably like 5 deep.
Yes.
So there will be another Hell's Kitchen, and I'm sure that we'll be back here with AfterBuzz. Stay tuned. See you next
Peace.
time.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.